What do you do when someone you love is drowning, but your arms are already tired from holding up your own life? And what happens when a friend is spiraling, they're stuck or suffering, and you're also exhausted, and you're overwhelmed, and you're emotionally spent? Today, that's where we're going in our episode. Welcome back, my dear listener, and thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you spending the next few minutes with me. As always, I just want to remind you at the outset and reiterate that I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm a fellow human being, just like you. And I care deeply about building friendships that are rooted in integrity and intimacy. That is friendships where, for me, integrity means the alignment between my internal values and my external actions. And intimacy for me, simply put, is the space where I allow others to see into me. Intimacy, into me, seeing. Friendship, you see, is not about saving people. I used to think it was. It's instead about being with people in their humanness, in their messiness, without losing our own in the process. So here's why this crisis dynamic hits so hard. I mean, let's be honest. When a friend is in crisis, whether it's a breakup, a loss, or mental health struggles, or even emotional burnout, many of us, we feel this instinct to drop everything and show up. Because that's what a good friend does, right? But here's what rarely gets unsaid. You can love someone deeply and still not be able to hold all that they're carrying. And when you try to, without checking in on your own capacity, well, you risk tipping from compassion into self-erasure. And this is the tension. How do you be a safe place for someone without becoming the place that they evacuate all of their pain into? Let's pause here and say something that needs to be said out loud. And in doing so, we'll name our own capacity without the shame. And that's this. It's not a betrayal to have limits. I want you to say that again in your mind. It's not a betrayal to have limits. Say it slower. And in doing so, let it land in your body. It is not a betrayal to have limits. Because boundaries are not rejection. No, they're clarity. And the kindest thing you can do for your friend and for yourself is to name what is true. You can say something like, I care about you so much, and I'm also reaching the edge of what I can hold for today. Or, I want to support you, and I also need to be honest about where I'm at emotionally. This is not abandonment. This is integrity. Because what's the alternative? Pretending you're fine? Offering support with resentment that's simmering underneath? Feeling depleted and disconnected until you disappear altogether? Honesty, even when it's hard, is still a gift. And when a friend is in crisis, we often unconsciously slide into one of these three roles. So I want you to see with me why these three roles I'm about to tell you don't work very well. Firstly, there's the savior. The savior is the one who tries to fix everything, and they research resources, they send long texts, they try to lift their friends out of the pit, in essence. But eventually you're drained, and worse, they haven't grown any stronger. They've just leaned harder on you. Secondly is the shadow. This is where you minimize your own pain and you tell yourself they have it way worse. And so you disappear emotionally. You overcompensate. You become a ghost in your own story. And then there's the shielder. Here's where you try to absorb their emotions so they won't feel alone. But their grief becomes your grief, and their crisis becomes your crisis. And now 2 people are drowning instead of 1. These patterns are understandable. They're often born from love, but they don't lead to connection. They actually lead to depletion. So what does integrity and intimacy look like when a friend is in crisis? Here's what healthy support actually looks like. It looks like presence over performance. Just being there is enough, and you don't have to fix it. You don't have to be profound. Clear limits with kind language could look like the following. You can say something like, I can check in with you again tomorrow, but I need to take some time tonight to recharge. Or you could say, I want to walk alongside you, and I need you to do that from a grounded place. Inviting others to support is also a great idea. You could say something like, you deserve more care than one person can give. Have you considered reaching out to someone trained to hold this kind of heaviness? Support does not mean isolation. It means helping someone build a system of care, not because you're becoming the system yourself. And my dear listener, if you're the one in crisis right now, if you're the friend who's struggling right now, I want to say something directly to you. Needing support, it does not make you weak. Reaching out does not make you too much. You are not a burden. But also, your friends do have limits. Not because they don't care, but because they're human as well. So as you share your pain, stay open to widening your circle of support. Let care come from more than just one direction. Let your healing also include you, not only those who love you. So what's next? When a friend is in crisis and you're at capacity, it is possible to stay honest, soft, and present without disappearing or overextending. Let intimacy guide you into being seen, but also let integrity keep you from self-abandonment. You don't have to disappear. You don't have to become everything. You just have to be real. And that's enough. In our next episode, we're going to talk a little bit about when you start resenting a friend that you love and what that really means. Because resentment is often a sign of unspoken needs, not necessarily a failure of love. Dear friend, if this episode has touched you, If this has stirred something inside of you, would you share it? Would you sit with it? Use it as a mirror. And until next time, go gently, go kindly on yourself, because you're doing far better than you think. See you soon.